A low for me is I had my first anxiety attack like I want to say 3 days ago, so that's stressful.
I've had a lot of friends throughout my life that have really struggled with their mental health, and I felt like it was something that wasn't being taken seriously for people that were young. I do think student stress is getting worse. I mean, the majority of people I know were getting 4 hours of sleep a night, and it's like, I can't have a crisis right now, I'm too busy.
Throughout Clay County, multiple schools offer various educational programs which will be observed. This includes standard classes, which are regular high school level classes, honors classes, which are classes that include a greater range and depth of subject matter, AP classes, which are classes that prepare students to take tests on college level knowledge in 38 subjects, ACE classes, which is an international curriculum and examination program that's modeled on the British pre-college curriculum and A-level exams. Then IB, which is internationally based and provides an integrated approach to learning. Suite 360 is a mental health awareness curriculum that is used in Clay County for students to become more aware about their mental health and develop skills with how to cope with issues that they may have. The lessons are targeted specifically towards teenagers and is supposed to lead to decreases in mental health issues across all schools who participate in the lessons. This all sounds really good on paper, but how do students really see this program? Florida is ranked 49th out of 50 states for the amount of money they put towards caring for people with mental illnesses.
Do you think Get Set and Mindset Monday truly benefit students?
No, I don't. I honestly don't think anyone pays attention to that.
No.
No one listens.
No.
No.
I think it could.
I definitely think it does because it puts the conversation at the forefront for the students and really gets them talking about issues that need to be discussed.
Because we've been doing the same thing since 7th grade.
Because nobody listens to them. Yeah, no one really pays attention.
I think the intention is good. I think that it has the potential to be meaningful. I don't know if they take it as such.
The students or the teachers?
The students.
And it's the same videos and it really just doesn't do anything and nobody pays attention to it anyways.
I think a lot of students don't take it seriously. Not really.
I guess it could go either way. If you're really paying attention, if you're really struggling, I guess you can listen. It might benefit you, but I also agree with Julia.
It could if the activities were meaningful.
And I think there's some good topics, and I think there are some things that the kids need to hear, but I think it's so much that it's like the good stuff is kind of drowned out by just all of the other stuff that happens in it, and the questions never match up with the video, and it really drives me crazy.
Pushing forward, the amount of schoolwork can overwork students, directly causing more anxiety. How much work is manageable, factoring in extracurricular activities and appropriate sleep schedule, which is imperative for our health? How do students and teachers view these aspects in comparison?
Do you find the amount of workload appropriate for each class?
I'd say so.
I do. I think standard kids definitely don't have as much work as ACE kids, but they also don't have as much work as honors kids. So I think it makes sense.
I think so, yeah.
Some classes, yes. Some classes, no. It kind of depends on the teacher.
I don't think so. I think they should lower it, or at least try to limit it based on each class.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's scaled correctly for the students and what they can achieve.
Yes, and it varies, from class to class, course to course, teacher to teacher. But
I do think it's appropriate.
Overall, how do you think each class placement affects the students individually? Do you think kids in ACE are better off than standard kids mentally, or?
Mentally, I think that ACE kids have it a lot more difficult because I know, based on what I've heard, I don't think the standard, everyone else, gets as much workload as we do, because I think we're brought up to the standard that we're supposed to be better and we're supposed to do all this work and be on top of things, but it impacts our mental health as well as it does to everybody else. So I don't know why they single us out when it comes to work.
I think that it should be, if it's based off of teacher recommendation, which is based off of their performance in class, test scores and things, they should be appropriately placed, so they should be able to handle it. If it's not based on that, if it's a parent override, then it may be too much for them. I think standard kids, which I've taught in the past, sometimes they are in it because they don't want to do work, but they're much more capable of doing work. So I think it's an individual idea. I think most of the placements are appropriate.
I think it can affect them in multiple ways because it can be like in an emotional sense of where are my friends located in classes compared to where am I. But also I think it helps the students have a personal sense of responsibility. Putting yourself into an AP or ACE class, you're taking yourself and putting that personal responsibility on yourself to achieve what you want to.
I feel like the standard kids have more trouble with their mental health because the ACE kids have a better way of coping with the amount of work that they get. They get it done and they care, but the standard kids, they focus on the smaller issues and they get caught up on those, and then they become like weird emo kids.
I think it depends on the student. I think some students are really driven and want to be in all of the advanced courses. I think some students are placed there because of pressure from their parents. I think that sometimes students feel like that if they're not in those advanced courses that they may not be succeeding or successful in life. So I think it really just varies from student to student as to whether or not their placement in those courses is the best for them.
I think they're just happy where they are. Because if you're an ACE kid, you're very driven and you're very grade motivated and you want to learn things. And I don't think an ACE kid would be happy in a standard class. And it has been my experience that ACE kids love to complain about how much work they have, but it's almost like they do it as a badge of honor because they did it. Look at how much I did, kind of a thing, which is really cute.
What extracurricular activities do you participate in?
I have tennis every day after school for an hour and a half, and I'm also in a variety. I'm in like 4 clubs, I think, and I'm also a part of student council.
I play tennis and I also do dance.
I'm an avid volleyball player.
Softball.
NTHS, National Technical Honor Society. There it is.
I play softball.
The medical program.
How have these affected your time and ability to complete quality homework?
If I'm being honest, not really, because they don't, unlike other activities that I know students do, it doesn't really take up much of my time, and I find a way to manage it so that I do it all before.
There are times when it's like late when I come home from stuff and I don't put it in all the effort that I could, and so the quality of my homework may not be the best, but I mean, I always get it done.
You know, I'm leaving the house at like 6 for volleyball, then I get home at 10:30. So I have about no time to do homework after I get home because usually I'm at the library doing stuff with my friends. So I feel like it does definitely affect my ability to do homework.
It's made it difficult because I don't have a lot of time on my hands.
The meetings aren't too long, so it doesn't really do much for me, so it's not a big deal.
And it makes it a little bit more difficult, but using like enrichment time helps me get my stuff done.
Has there been a point in your life when the school workload was too much for your mental health?
Yes, especially in ACE.
Sure, yeah, obviously.
No.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
How often do you feel overwhelmed with the amount of schoolwork you have?
Almost every day, if I'm being honest.
Not that often, I think, because my thing is I'd rather not complain about how much homework I have and just shut up and get it done.
Almost every day.
A lot.
It's a good bit.
Honestly, I feel kind of overwhelmed right now. That's only because we have midterms next week and there's a bunch of stuff that we have to do to prepare.
As a former A student, do you recall being stressed or having anxiety by your schoolwork, and how often?
Yeah, definitely, because it's a lot, but the stress was manageable, and I mean, I felt it every week, but it wasn't anything that was crippling or that made me not want to be a part of the program.
Have you stayed up later than 10 o'clock to finish homework?
Yes. Never.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes. How often? Often. I think I stay up later than 10 every night.
And what time do you get up in the morning?
6:20.
Yes, every night.
What time do you get up in the morning?
6:15, 6:20. Yeah, 6:30.
And how many hours on average do you spend on homework a day?
Depending on the assignment, I would say 2 hours, maybe 2.5.
1 to 2.
Yep, same.
2 to 3 hours.
2, maybe 3, depends how much I have. On average, like 2 hours.
At least like 3 hours.
Yeah, I'd say 2 hours.
Okay, so standard kids, I don't think they have much homework at all. Honors kids, probably not that much. Maybe like an hour a night. ACE kids, probably 1 to 2 hours a night, if not more, because some people procrastinate and wait and put stuff off the last minute and then stay up all night long.
In the ACE program, probably I'd say an hour, hour and a half a day. I think like for mine, they have such a long time to do it that it shouldn't take them hours and hours a day. It should take them like 20 minutes a day, but I think they procrastinate, so.
So standard students, I'd probably say like an hour to 2 hours. ACE and AP, I'm gonna probably say 2 to 4, depending.
I know my students probably have anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours of homework a night.
What do you think a AP or A student would have?
Probably around 2.5 to 3.
Okay.